Okay, let's have a seat. So here, this is Kjørntinim and Jananim, and it was beautiful to hear Jananim's testimony last night, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've seen online too, you know, they're just real people, you know? It's really nice, and they're very honest. When she talked about the dirty socks, you know, like, we also went through that, but then now my husband and I at least have accomplished to put our dirty clothes in a laundry basket in the bedroom. So we are improving with the years. It took us a little while, but we're getting there. So I think it's a step-by-step process. And I'm also getting better at emptying the, you know, the dishes out of the sink. Because my husband doesn't like dishes in the sink. So sometimes I'm not fast enough. I say, well, it's okay if you do them. You're very welcome. But I try to. Now Jim looks really mad. This is the wrong thing to say. But you can be honest with your husband too. Just do it in a polite way, respectful way. Because we are different. And that's what makes life exciting. So we can learn a lot from this couple. And also from cooking them and cheer. Okay, so we have a lot of resources, and I think it's important to really utilize those resources. Like, take time to read like Hunter K or study principle, especially creation and the fall. I know when I first joined, at one point, I was really struggling with, you know, with the fall. I kept, even one guy I saw one time, he jumped out of the, you know, a van naked, you know? And I was shocked, you know? And then also all these guys, I was fundraising, you go door to door, you know, and they invite you in. I said, oh, no, you know, invite you for a ride in their car. And it's like Satan was really trying to get me. So you have to be really wise. And if you really study, like the fall of man, like I made a condition of studying the fall of man for a period of time there for a long, to really be strong in that area. You know, really understand my value, understand, you know, and not get fooled. Because Satan likes to fool us, you know, sometimes. So study hard. Also, Chansung Gyam, especially chapter 9 and chapter 11. Chapter 9 is about blessing and matching and family. And chapter 11 is about absolute sex. And that one in the new Chansung Gyam is not there, you know. This is the first Chansung Gyam, you know, the one the Father put together. Chapter 11 is really good to study. And pray a lot, take time to pray. I like to go out in nature and pray. I like to pray when I'm in my car, you know, driving. Each person is a little different. Some people like to pray and do, some people like to sit down really quietly and pray in a place. Each one is different, so find your style. And like also Kjørntinim and Jananim, they always encourage us, like we did yesterday morning, if you have a hard time, go to God. And God can talk to you through like a rhema. You open the Bible, and God wants to tell you something. You know, you can the Bible or Divine Principle or Chansung Gyam or Father's Word. You can use many things. I do that a lot when I have a hard time. Even I wake sometimes up at night time and I'm thinking about things, you know, thinking about my boys, thinking about whatever is happening, maybe something I'm supposed to do here. And I get up and I open. It's amazing. It's amazing how God wants to guide you and talk to you. Each one of you, all the time. God is always there. Remember that God is always there. The problem is for us to remember that He's there and let Him, and listen to Him and let Him teach us. Okay, so there's also different things like Kjørntinim and Jananim talk a lot about love and respect. And it goes back to the Bible, to Ephesians 5:33. Let's read together. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself. And the wife must respect her husband. And this is from Ephesians 5:33. There's actually even Ephesians like from 21 to 33. It's a whole, God talks about the relationship between husband and wife. And he also talks later on about the relationship between parent and children, like for the children to obey their parents, because that way they will be protected. So it goes back to the Bible, and there's a book. Oh, listen, not that one. Where do I have it? Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. I can recommend that one for any couple. It's a really good book. You know, it helped me a lot, because it's sometimes hard in this society. Women and men, they always talk about men and women equality and all that stuff, you know, and you have to learn to respect your husband, give him space. And let me show you the next one. Like, what does it really mean to love and respect your wife? Like, they put it up, they call it like couple, you know. So how to spell love to your wife? Like, I know I love to be close to my husband, you know. I love to be where he is. I really miss him. Like, he goes to work like 3 days a week and he stays away. And I really miss him. Also, the whole atmosphere in the house is different when Dad is not there. Even I have wonderful boys, but it's different when Dad is not there. And also, I love to understand him. Like, I love when he shares with me things, you know, and opens up to me and shares things, that's what's going on inside of him, you know. I love to hear that, you know. And my husband is very patient. He listens to me, you know. Sometimes I just talk and talk because I need to share something, and it's the best thing he can do. Just listen. Don't try to fix your wife, because she actually figures it out by talking. Women need to talk. So they figure out things by talking. And after they hear themselves, then it's like they realize, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Unless your wife asks directly, what do I do about this point? Then it's best just to listen and let the wife talk. Also, for us, it's very important that the husband is committed. Like, when we first got matched and blessed, it was tough on Dad. Here came this MFT girl, you know. It was said, oh, she's so wonderful, she makes lots of money. And then my husband said, well, can she be a good wife? Which was the perfect thing to say, because that's the main thing. Can you be a good wife? And then, but for him it was a little hard in the beginning because we were very different. So it took a little while for him. He committed step by step. You know, of course he said yes at the matching, that was one level. He said yes at the blessing. But even after that, at one point, I remember we were really talking, and it's like we both committed to a deeper level, and that's very precious to the wife, the commitment and the trust. I know my husband is not going to go with some other lady or some other, even he sees beautiful, of course he can see beautiful ladies, every man can see beautiful ladies, but he's faithful and I can trust him. That is really precious. And also, I love when my husband gives me compliments. You know, sometimes other people will give me compliments. That doesn't mean so much. But when my husband gives me compliments, that is really special. That I really cherish. Also, if my boys give me compliments, I really like that too. I love that too. But your family, your husband, especially my husband, because some other guys, I mean, they can talk up a storm, right? About how beautiful, how wonderful you are. But you want to hear from your husband how special you are to him. That's what's important. Okay, and let's see from the husband, how to spare respect to your husband. It's really important to appreciate your husband. My husband is a really hard worker, and sometimes I think, couldn't you take a little more time off? But I have to really appreciate, because he works so hard to provide, you know, to provide, to take care, you know, to achieve and he's very, in his job, when he does a job, he does a good job. he's very thorough. He does a good job. So everybody respect him because he really are responsible like that. And I really respect that too. And also, also the reason why he works hard is to provide and to protect the family. So really important to appreciate that. And also it's really important to let the husband lead. We as women can be so strong and so stubborn and think we know everything, you know. Sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't. So we have to support and let our husband lead. It doesn't mean we say yes to everything, but if there's something we don't agree on, then maybe make a time, talk about it, talk it out, you know, and then like Janine was sharing last night, you talk about it, you try to work it out step by step. We'll talk more about listening in a few minutes. Yes, I appreciate his desire to analyze and to counsel. My husband does this sometimes, and it's okay. My hardest thing to accept is when my youngest son is trying to teach me something, but I even have to learn to respect him when it's right what he's saying. Especially my boys know a lot more about cars than I do. So, and even I taught them how to drive. They drive much better than me now. You know, so I have to be humble and appreciate and respect. Plus, like Alexander knows about painting, and Xander and Alistair are excellent painters. Mom's eyesight is not always so good, so she misses spots, you know. So we had to get the bright light on Mom's side so she could paint well enough, you know. So then I'm lucky. I have these wonderful boys to teach me, but I have to be humble enough and respectful enough to listen to them when they're better at things than me. Okay? And also, a husband loves to do things together. So recently we've spent a lot of time at Home Depot and Lowe's because we are building a house. And honestly, I don't know so much about those, whatever, electrical things that we have to pick up at Lowe's, but I go there and say, okay, Dad, which one do we need? So then we help each other to find it. And it's nice to do things together like that, husband and wife, you know, shoulder to shoulder, together. That's important. And also it's really important to understand that man's sex drive is much stronger than women's is. So to really, not to say no, of course if you're really white, whatever, you can't say no, but basically to understand that, you know, appreciate that. And learn to really learn that sexual relationship, like Janine was talking about last night. It takes time, you know. We're still learning. We're like, how many years we've been blessed now? Since 82? You were 82 too, right? We're still learning, right? And then because Janine and Cook and Hyundai came, it was like new life for us. And like my son said, finally, Mom, I can say penis and vagina, he said, you know, and you're not going to get upset at me. He said, you know, I said, yeah, go for it. anyway, but it's liberating. Everywhere in the world, you know, the media and everywhere, we get bombarded with the wrong, you know, attitude towards sex. But this is where God is most present. And this is a place where man feels the closest to God in the sexual relationship. And women too, you know. But especially men. So we have to remember that. It's important. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's important to learn relationship skills. It's really important, just basic, like how to listening and understanding. So it's important when you listen to actually look at the person, right? When you're listening to somebody, trying to understand and look at a person. And sometimes you really have to put yourself in their shoes to understand them, you know. And if you're not sure about a detail, or sometimes even if you think you are sure, it's good to kind of share back what you heard to make sure you got the right information. I know sometimes my husband he said, why are you repeating it back to me? I said, I'm just making sure that I got it right, you know. Because there's this misunderstanding in the long run. And you can you know, anyway, and then you accept back and make correction. Another one that's important is expression skill. We're going to practice in a second, okay? Like, even in the Bible, James 1:19, it says about showing understanding. Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, you know? Listen, right? Slow to speak and slow to wrath, from King James Version. And about expression skill in Ephesians, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. I always think about the thing, I work at the bus garage, and there's a lot of gossip going on there. Like, and I always think about this song, gossip, gossip, evil thing. Gossip, gossip, evil. Most unhappiness it brings, you know. Don't gossip about people. Don't talk about people in the wrong way, you know. Use your mouth as God's mouth, you know. Use it the right way. We hear with God's ears, we talk with God's mouth, and we see with God's eyes. You know, this is a good way to think. Okay, so expressions thing. Think before you speak, you know. Don't just blurt out things, you know. Think before you speak. And start, like, if you want to share something that's maybe a little bit difficult, it's good to say something good first, you know. Like, I really appreciate this about you, but this point. And then also, talk from your point of view, I. Not you. Like, I was really hurt when you did that, you know. Or I feel that, or whatever. Start from I. Don't point like you. It's easy to say you. Oh, you did this, you did that, you did that. Start from I, you know. I was hurt when this happened, you know.